So in this video, we are going to learn how to create a task in ClickUp for booking schedule in OnceHub. Now suppose guys, if you're using OnceHub to get appointments and event booking from your customer, this automation is going to help you a lot. So using this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new booking is scheduled by our clients and customer in our OnceHub page, automatically what we are going to do, we are going to create a task in ClickUp with the same details of this booking. Like while making the booking, the user is going to enter their name, email address, mobile number, some note and some other details. And then for whatever date and time the user is going to book an appointment with you, for the same time duration, a new task will be created in ClickUp with the same details. So if you want to know how you can set up this automation, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as OnceHub to ClickUp. And then just click on Create. Now you can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. Now the idea here is, first we have to connect our OnceHub account with Pabbly Connect in the trigger window, so that whenever a user, a customer will book a meeting with us on our OnceHub page which we have created or schedule a meeting with us, automatically the details of that booking, that scheduled meeting from the user will be received inside Pabbly Connect workflow, and then we will get that response. After that, using this Pabbly Connect's automation, we will send the details of that new scheduled meeting which the user has scheduled into our ClickUp account so that we can create a task in ClickUp with the same details automatically. So let's see how it is done. We will start with our trigger window and here in Choose App, search for OnceHub. Just select it. After selecting OnceHub, in trigger event from this drop-down, select the trigger event as Booking Scheduled so that we can get the details of a scheduled booking or scheduled meeting which the user is scheduling on our OnceHub page. After selecting a trigger event, just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our OnceHub account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API key of our OnceHub account. Now here you must be thinking how you can get this API key. So to get it, just go to your OnceHub account and go to the booking section over here from the left sidebar. After coming to this bookings page section, here you can see a list of all the booking pages which you have created. And here on the left sidebar itself, you can see this integrations option. Just click on integrations and then go to API and webhooks. When we select API and webhooks, here you can see the API key of your OnceHub account. Just copy this API key from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after pasting this, just click on Save. And when we click on Save, here you can see that our OnceHub account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the next thing it asks us is webhook name. So when we click on Save and Send Test Request, a webhook URL is added by Pabbly Connect in our OnceHub account. So here it is asking us what should be the name of that webhook URL. For example, I would like to name my webhook URL as Pabbly, just for reference. You can give any other name of your choice. And then just click on Save and Send Test Request. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, it has now changed to Waiting for Response. This means Pabbly Connect has added a webhook URL in our OnceHub account. And now Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some response of a new booking being scheduled. So what we have to do, we just have to schedule a test booking, a dummy booking on our OnceHub account. We will go to OnceHub and here we will go to the booking page over here. After coming to this booking section, here you can see there is a bookings page named as integration which I have created. So I'll just open this page in a new tab, open public link. And then this is the page the users will be seeing. On this page, users, my customers can book a meeting with me over here. So let's make a test booking over here. I'll select the date as for example 30th of May and I will select the time as for example 11 AM over here. So I'm booking a meeting as a user, as a demo user. Just click on continue And here we are asking the user some details. So let's enter the details of a dummy user. For example, demo user. This is the name of the person. Then after that, this is the email address of this person who is booking the appointment. Then let's add the country. The country is India, and a dummy mobile number over here. And let's add a note with it as well. So I'll add a note as we are setting up this automation. And then just click on done over here. So here you can see that a new booking is made on our OnceHub booking page. And because we have connected our OnceHub account with Pabbly Connect, we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow in this trigger window, we will receive the response. And yes, here you can see that in this trigger window, we have received the response. This response is for a scheduled booking over here. Then we will scroll down to this response and you can see all the details of this booking. Here you can see the subject, that what was the subject, what was the event name for which the user has made a booking with us, booked and meeting an appointment with us. Then after that, here you can see the start date and time of the meeting as well. So we have selected the start date and time of this meeting as 30th May at 11 AM. And here you can see that we have received the response. The date is 30th May. But here guys, in time you will see it is showing us the time as 5:30 AM. Now this is because we have scheduled this meeting according to the Indian time zone over here, as you can see. But while receiving the API response inside Pabbly Connect, OnceHub sends the response, sends the details according to the UTC time zone. So here guys, when it is 11 AM in India according to Indian time zone, it's 5:30 AM according to the UTC time zone. So in the next step, if we want, we can change the format and the time zone of this starting time as well. As you can see, this is a pretty complex format of date and time of the meeting. We don't use this format of date and time in our day-to-day life. So if you want, you can change that format as well. Then we will scroll down further. Here you can see the last updated date. You can see the ID of this booking as well. Then you can see the responses from the user. We are setting up this automation, the same note which we have added while scheduling this booking. Then here you can see the same name of the person which they have entered, demo user, the same mobile number, and also the same email address over here. This means all the details of a booking from OnceHub has been received inside Pabbly Connect in our trigger window. Every time we are going to receive a new booking, a new appointment from a user on our OnceHub page, automatically the details of that booking will be received inside Pabbly Connect and this automation workflow will trigger. It will start. Now let's move to step 2. In step 2, we want to create a task in ClickUp as we receive this new booking on OnceHub. For this, we will just scroll down, come to our action window, and here in Choose App, we will search for ClickUp. Just select it. After selecting ClickUp, an action event from this drop-down, select the action event as Create Task. Then just click on Connect and select Add New Connection over here. Now here guys, we have to connect our ClickUp account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API token of our ClickUp account. Now here you must be thinking how you can get the API token. So to get it, just go to your ClickUp account, log into your ClickUp account. On the left bottom corner, here you can see this profiles option. Just click on it and go to apps over here. After coming to this app section, here you can see the API token of your ClickUp account. Just copy this API token from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after pasting the API token, just click on Save. Now when we click on Save, we will see our ClickUp account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the workspace. That in which workspace in our ClickUp account we want to create this new task. So in my ClickUp account, I have created right now only one workspace named as Pabbly Connect. That is Pabbly's workspace. So here you can see in this drop down Pabbly's workspace over here. After workspace, it is asking us for the space. That in this workspace, we have created two different spaces. First one is named as space itself and second one is Pabbly Connect. So out of both of these, in which particular space we want to create this new task. So I want to create a new task in this space named as Pabbly Connect. So from this drop down, you can see a list of all the spaces which you have created in your ClickUp account. And out of all of this, you can select the space in which you want to create the new task. After selecting the space, the next thing it asks us is the folder name. That in this space named as Pabbly Connect, we have basically created two different folders. integrations and meetings. So in which particular folder in our ClickUp account we want to create this new task. So here in folder name, in this dropdown, you can see a list of all the folders which we have created in this space. I want to create this new task in the folder named as meetings. So I will be selecting this folder over here. And in this folder also there is a list. You might have created multiple lists over here. There is a list named as OnceHub booking. In this particular list, the new task will be created. So I want to select this list over here in list name. After selecting all of these things, the first thing it asks us is the task name. That what will be the name of the new task which we will be creating using this automation. So here guys, I want my task name to be new meeting with. And then here I want to mention the name of the person who has booked the meeting with us using OnceHub. So here guys, in the trigger response, you can see that we have received the name of the person. While making the booking, the user has entered their name. So what we have to do, we have to actually map this response of the name of the person which we have received from OnceHub in the trigger window. And then we will be mapping this data over here in this task name field. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and here in this drop down, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from OnceHub of a booking being scheduled. Out of all of these responses, you can select this response of name and it will be mapped over here. So every time we receive a new booking, whatever name the user is going to enter while making the booking, with the same name the task will be created. The name of the new task will be new meeting with and we will have the name of the person over here as the task name in ClickUp. Then it is asking us description type. So here in this dropdown, you can see we can basically create two different types of description for this task in ClickUp. First one is the text content based description and second one is the markdown based description. So here guys, I just want to create a text content based description. So I've selected that over here. Then here it is asking us for the description. And here in description, you can enter all the details for the task which we are creating in ClickUp. So I want my description to be a new booking is received on, and then here I want to mention the name of the booking page. So here in this trigger response, we have received the name of the booking page, the subject as well, integration setup. This was the name of my booking page over here in OnceHub. So I want to mention this name of this booking page over here in this field. So here in this description, I want the description to be a new booking is received on, and here I want to mention the name. So from the drop down, we will be mentioning the name of the booking page over here. It is most likely possible that in your OnceHub account, you might have created multiple booking pages and multiple event types over here. And using this webhook URL, using this connection of OnceHub and Pabbly Connect, you will get the details of each and every booking of each and every page. So here in this way, I can basically mention that on which booking page this new booking is received. So here this is the description. I want my description like this. And then I want to mention the details of the user. For example, I want to mention the name of the user. So I'll enter name. And from this drop down, I will map the response of the name of the person which they have entered. Then I also want to add the email address of this user in the description. So from this drop down, I will select and map the email address. And guys, the process of mapping each time stays the same. In this field here in the drop down, you can see all of these details and you just have to select the response which you want to map. After email, I want to mention the note. I want to enter the note which the user has entered. So I'll enter note. And then here we have received the response of note as well. So this was the note the user has entered as a user. We have entered while making a booking on OnceHub. So just select this response of note and map it. So whatever note the user is going to enter while making the booking, the same note, the same name, same email will be added in description. At last, let's add the mobile number as well. Let's just click here and from the drop down, map the mobile number. So in this way, guys, you can basically create any description of your choice. You can basically add any details, any data of your choice over here in this description section. Right now, we have just asked for some basic details. That's why we have added it over here. If you want, you can also mention the start date and time of this booking of this event as well. We have received the start time. So you can basically add that same thing over here in the description. But in this video right now, we will be adding the start time and the due time over here in the start date and due date fields. So here in this way, I just want a simple description. But as I told you, you can create any description of your choice and map any data from the trigger response. Then it is asking us for the assignee. We will just refresh this button over here. And here you can see a list of all the users which I have in my ClickUp account. So to which particular user we want to assign this task? I want to assign this task to the admin. So I've selected admin Pabbly over here. Then it is asking us for the tag, that do we want to add any kind of tags to this new task which we are creating. So the field of tags is not mandatory, it's not required. You can ignore this field as well. But right now, let me add a tag in double quote as OnceHub. So I want to add a tag to the task which I'm creating using this automation named as OnceHub. If you want, you can add multiple tags in double quotes by adding the commas between them. After tags, it is asking us for the priority. So I want the priority to be the normal for each and every task I create using this automation. So every task will have the priority as normal. Then it is asking us for the due date and start date. So while creating this task, we also have an option to enter the start date and the due date of this task. So this task which we are creating for the booking, this event is going to start on 30th of May at 11 a.m. and it will end on 11:15 a.m. over here. So it's going to be a 15 minutes of booking, 15 minutes meeting over here. And here in our trigger window responses, you can see that we have received the start timing of this event as well. But as we discussed earlier, this is a pretty complex format of date and time. And also we have received the time in UTC time zone over here. So what we want to do, we want to change the start and end date and time of this particular event from this format to millisecond format. Now this is because here in this due date and start date time, it is asking us the start date time and end date and time in timestamp in milliseconds format. So we have to mention the due date and start date over here in that particular format only. And also we want to change the time zone over here. But here we have just received the starting time. We haven't received the ending time. So we are going to add 15 minutes in the starting time to get the ending time. So this event was supposed to start all the events which the users are booking from this booking page. Each and every event is a 15 minutes event. Here you can see that while making this booking page. So for example, I have created this event on the difference of 15 minutes. It's a 15 minutes meeting. So that's why we will be adding 15 minutes in this starting time. If you are getting the bookings, for example, for 1 hour event, then here what you can do, you can add 1 hour in the starting time to get the end time of that particular event, of that particular meeting or task over here. So it's very simple to do this. Let's see what we are going to do. We will just change the time zone and the format of the starting time first. We will change the format into timestamp millisecond format, and this response is received according to UTC time zone. This date and time is according to UTC time zone. We will change it to Asia Kolkata time zone because right now I am in India, and in India we follow the Asia Kolkata time zone. If you're watching this video from some other country, you can select your preferred time zone as well. So how it is done? We just have to scroll down and click on this Add Action Step button over here before the ClickUp step. Now here in Choose App, we will be selecting a feature or module of Pabbly Connect that is called Date Time Formatter. So just select Date Time Formatter by Pabbly. Then in Action Event from this drop down, select the action event as Format Date with Time Zone. Then just click on Connect. After clicking on Connect, the first thing it asks us is the date. That what is the response of date and time whose format and time zone we want to change. So we want to change the format and the time zone of the starting time of the event which we have received in trigger response. So we have to map this date over here in this date field. Just click here and from the drop down, select the response of starting time. Then it is asking us from format, that in which particular format this date and time is present right now. And here in this drop down, you can see a list of different formats over here. Out of all of them, this is the format in which this date and time is present right now. Year, month, date, then we have T, then we have hours, minutes and seconds. After this, it is asking us to format, that into which format we want to change this date and time into. And again, here in this drop down, you can see a list of different date and time formats. So ClickUp is asking us for the event start, the task start date and time over here in timestamp millisecond format. So we are going to select timestamp in millisecond in 2 format. And from time zone, from this drop down, we will search for UTC and select it. Because as I told you, this date and time response is received in UTC time zone. And in 2 time zone, you can select your preferred time zone over here. I am selecting Asia Kolkata as my to time zone, that I want to change the time zone of this date and time from this time zone to this time zone. And then just click on Save and Send Test Request. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received the response. In this response, you can see this is the timestamp in millisecond for this date and time according to Asia Kolkata time zone. So we have converted this starting time of the booking, which is selected by the user while booking on OnceHub. We have converted the format of this date and time into timestamp millisecond format. And we have also changed the time zone of this date and time from UTC time zone to Asia Kolkata time zone. Now what we have to do, we have to map this response of timestamp over here in start time over here, start date. Just click here. But right now in this drop down, you can't see any data to map. Because we have added a new step, some new data before this ClickUp step, that's why you can't see any data to map. Now what we have to do, we just have to click on this connected button in our ClickUp step and click on save. We just have to reconnect our ClickUp account. And after this, here you can see that once again, let's refresh the assignee ID and select the assignee ID over here. And after selecting the assignee, we will just scroll down and click on this start date field over here. And then here from the responses of date time formatter, you can map this date and time format over here in timestamp millisecond format. So the same date and time which we have received from OnceHub, we have converted that date and time into timestamp millisecond format and also changed the time zone. And then we have mentioned that same response over here in start date. In similar way, if you want, you can enter the due date as well. What we have to do, as we discussed, each event is a 15 minutes event. So here what you can do, you can basically add 15 minutes in this particular time which we have received over here. Just click on this add action step button once again, and then once again we have to select date time formatter over here. Just select date time formatter. After selecting date time formatter, this time in action event from this drop down, select the action event as add or subtract time, and then just click on connect. After clicking on connect, here it is asking us to enter the date, that what is the date in which we want to add or subtract time. So here guys, we are going to map the response of this timestamp millisecond format which we have received in the previous step over here, and we are going to add 15 minutes to it. Just click here, and from the drop down from date time formatter responses of the previous step, just select this response. Then in expression, because we want to add 15 minutes, so we will write plus 15 minutes over here. How much time you want to add? So here guys, if you are having an event of 1 hour, you can add plus 1 hour over here. Or the duration of your meeting of your event is, for example, 2 hours, then you can add plus 2 hours over here. You can enter the expression that how much time you want to add. Then here in to format from this drop down, we are going to select millisecond format over here. And in from format as well, we are going to select millisecond because we want the date and time in millisecond format, and we are giving this date and time in millisecond format as well. And then just click on save and send test request. When we click on save and send test request, you will see in this previous response of start time of the meeting, 15 minutes that added, and we have received that same date and time in millisecond format after adding 15 minutes. Now we are going to map this same response over here in this due date over here. But once again, you can't see any data to map. So just reconnect accounts over here. Just click on this save button. And after reconnecting it and once again selecting assignee and all the other details, we just have to map the date over here. We'll just scroll down, just select the assignee 2. And then here in due date, just click here. And after using date time formatter for the second time, map this response of due date. After mapping all of these details, the last thing it asks us is the status. And here in this dropdown, you can see a list of different status over here. That what will be the status of this new task which we are creating. So I want the status to be to do. So I'm selecting to do over here. And then just click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received a response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here with the same details, a new task is created in our ClickUp account. So let's check it. We will go to our ClickUp account and we will just refresh this page once. And yes guys, here you can see that in the same list, OnceHub booking, the same list which we have selected over here, a new task is created. And in this task, you can see the exact same details of the appointment of the event which the user has booked with us on OnceHub. Here you can see the same name, new meeting with demo user. We have the name of the person who booked an event with us, who has booked a meeting with us. Here you can see the same description, a new booking is received on integration setup. You can see the name of the event for which the user has made the booking in integration setup. Then here you can see the same details which they have entered over here. And then you can see the same date and time. Tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. that is on 30th of May, 11 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. This is the date and time of this particular task, of this particular event. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video, this automation is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever a new booking will be scheduled on our OnceHub page, automatically with the same details, a task will be created in ClickUp. Now guys, after setting up this automation, let's test this automation workflow once. We are going to make another booking on our OnceHub booking page. And this time we will change the date, time and user details. For example, I will select the date as 31st of May and time as, for example, 1 p.m. Just click on continue and let's enter the details of a new user. For example, test user, this is the name, this is the email address of this user, and then this is the dummy mobile number. The note is, this is a real-time test. This is the note which we are giving. Just click on done. Just now with the details of a new user, a new booking is received on OnceHub. And we will see as we receive this booking, instantly within seconds with the same details, a task will be created in ClickUp. So we will go to a ClickUp account and yes, here you can see that a new task is created which says, new meeting with test user. Here you can see the same name of the user which we have entered while making this booking. Then here you can see the same description and the same details which the user has entered. Test user, the same name, same email address, same note. This is a real-time test which we have just now entered. And also the same mobile number. Here you can see the same date and time. The date is 31st of May, 1 p.m. and the due date is 31st of May, 1:15. The same date and time for which the user has booked the meeting, booked an event with us. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone this same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down to your suggestion and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.